recovery and reconciliation after conflict are possible. Given its experience as a former host of a UN peacebuilding mission, Liberia's voice on the Security Council would be a valuable one. Italy and Liberia already collaborate on security through Operation 𝗥𝗶𝗯𝗲𝗿, our naval deployment in the Gulf of Guinea, which contributes to the EU coordinated maritime presence. This initiative enhances maritime security and fosters cooperation with regional partners. We also share a vision of sustainable development as a foundation for peace. While poverty and inequality remain root causes of conflict, Africa is a continent full of untapped potential. Recognizing this potential, Italy has launched the 𝗦𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗏 Plan, a strategy focused on building long-term equal partnerships with African countries, multilateral financial institutions, and the private sector. Next month in Rome, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and the President of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, will host a joint 𝗦𝗲𝗏 Plan and Global Gateway Summit to advance strategic initiatives like the Lobito Corridor. Excellencies, Italy values Africa's presence in the Security Council. We are committed to working with African partners to strengthen Africa's voice. I wish Liberia continued success and prosperity, and I look forward to working even more closely with the Liberian mission in the months ahead. Thank you very much. Grazie.
Excellencies, distinguished delegations, esteemed guests, I am honored and pleased to address this august gathering on behalf of the President of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Dr. Omar Ali Toure, who, due to official engagements marking ECOWAS's 50th anniversary celebration in Nigeria this week, is unable to be with us in person. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today marks an important milestone as we come to the end of Liberia's campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the period 2026 to 2027. As West Africa's representative in the Council, ECOWAS stands in solidarity with the government and people of Liberia in this onerous quest and lends its unwavering support to Liberia as she goes on to serve on this distinguished platform. Liberia's pursuit of a seat on the UN Security Council is a testament to the nation's resilience, dedication to global peace, and its unwavering commitment to multilateral cooperation. As a country that has emerged stronger from past challenges, Liberia embodies the spirit of dialogue, stability, and demonstrated good attitude for international collaboration, values that align closely with the ECOWAS vision and the principles of the United Nations. Throughout the campaign, Liberia has demonstrated leadership, diplomatic engagement, and a vision for a more secure and peaceful world. ECOWAS takes great pride in supporting Liberia's candidacy, recognizing that a seat on the Security Council will amplify the voice of our region, Western Africa, in critical discussions on international peace and security. Liberia's role on the UN Security Council during her tenure will further strengthen West Africa's collective efforts to promote security, stability, and development across our nations. It is an opportunity to contribute actively to global decision-making processes, advocate for shared interests, and advance solutions to the challenges that affect not only our continent, Africa, but the world in general. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Liberia's identified priorities for her tenure at the Security Council include women, peace and security, youth, peace and security, and the climate conflict nexus, all in line with the key areas of priority for the ECOWAS region. As ECOWAS commemorates its 50th anniversary, tomorrow, 28th of May 2025, we remain steadfast to the body's collective ideals and stand ready to use this milestone to collectively take stock of our valued regional project and forge ahead with renewed vigor on regional construction. We thus call on all our partners, all of you present here, including the members of the Security Council, to continue to prioritize peace and security in our region, West Africa and the Sahel, and Africa as a whole in the global sphere, especially through mechanisms such as Resolution 2719. As Liberia stands poised to take a place in the United Nations Security Council, ECOWAS remains committed to fully lend its support to her laudable undertaking as we work to further our shared regional objectives on the international stage. Together, we shall continue to champion world peace, security, and sustainable development, and work to achieve our shared objectives and goals. ECOWAS commends the Government of Liberia for its steadfast commitment and diplomatic engagement throughout this campaign, and equally applaud the unity and determination exhibited in seeking this pivotal role. On behalf of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States, and all citizens of West Africa, I would like to extend warm congratulations to Liberia on this remarkable journey. May this endeavor serve to promote and enhance peace, progress, and prosperity for all. Thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much indeed. So, in the statements delivered so far, it sounds as if the votes have already been cast. We want each and every one of you on that day to endorse the candidature of Liberia. At the outset, let me convey our heartfelt congratulations and sincere appreciation to the Republic of Liberia for presenting its candidature for the non-permanent seat of the Security Council representing Africa. The candidature of Liberia is rooted in an unwavering commitment to multilateralism and the principles of the United Nations Charter. As a founding member of the United Nations, and before that, the League of Nations, Liberia's election to the Council will bring balance and a sense of fairness to the deliberations of and actions of the Council at a time when the world is facing complex challenges. Africa had already spoken with one voice on this candidature. The African Union Executive Council, in its decision 𝗟𝗏𝗯𝗲𝗏/DEC 1278 unanimously endorsed the Republic of Liberia for the non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council for the period 2026-2027. Madam Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the candidature of Liberia will bring to the table its own experience of remarkable resilience and development. The commitment to international law, multilateralism, and collective security is bound to bring valuable perspectives to the Council, particularly on matters related to peace building, post-conflict reconstruction, youth empowerment, and sustainable development. Liberia's advocacy for respect of international law had been demonstrated in full measure in the early 1960s, when the apartheid regime in South Africa was violating its mandate obligations by implementing similar policies in Namibia. Guided by the spirit of Pan-Africanism and supported by a few African members of the UN at the time, Liberia, together with Ethiopia, filed a joint court case at the ICJ against the apartheid regime at the time. Madam Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Africa has a unique arrangement of its own within the Security Council, known to UN member states as 𝗟𝗏, and 𝗟𝗏+ when nations with Pan-African family roots join the arrangement. This makes Africa the only group that speaks with one voice in the Security Council. We believe this will lend worthy reform ideas to the other groups and the Security Council itself. Africa continues to demand its just and rightful place in the permanent category of the membership of Security Council, as articulated in our continental position, the 𝗟𝗔𝗰𝗂𝗍𝗂 consensus. In conclusion, we wish to kindly request all member states of the UN to support the candidature of the Republic of Liberia, which will be a constructive partner in the maintenance of international peace and security. We wish Liberia success in this important election and urge all member states to stand in solidarity with this candidate. I thank you.
Honorable Minister, Excellencies, representative, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to deliver the following remarks of Ambassador on behalf of Ambassador 𝗥𝗶𝗵 𝗥𝗏𝗰𝗂𝗍𝗂, who unfortunately could not join us this afternoon, and I quote, "I'm honored to join you this afternoon at this important occasion marking the campaign closing ceremony of the Republic of Liberia's campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for 2026-2027 term. The African Union welcomes Liberia's candidatures and reaffirms its full support following Liberia's endorsement alongside the Democratic Republic of the Congo as one of the two African Union endorsed candidates for Africa's upcoming 2 seats. This endorsement reflects our shared commitment to unity, solidarity, and collective responsibility in advancing Africa's voice and priorities within the multilateral system. Liberia's candidacy is both historic and timely. It represents the voice of a nation that has endured and risen, contributing meaningfully to regional peace and global cooperation. Liberia brings to the table not only the legacy of being Africa's oldest republic, but also a vision rooted in Pan-African solidarity, multilateralism, and peace-building values that the African Union upholds and promotes. As we continue to navigate a shifting global landscape, the importance of Africa's representation on the Security Council cannot be overstated. Africa is the largest regional group in the United Nations and most discussed on the Council's agenda. Yet we remain underrepresented in decision-making structures. It is therefore essential that Africa's perspective, as expressed through the A3 configuration, currently comprise Algeria, Sierra Leone, and Somalia, countries to grow in influence and coherence. In this context, we welcome the strengthening of the A3+, which includes our Caribbean brothers and sisters and other partners who align with Africa's common positions. This growing platform not only amplifies our voices, but also reaffirms our collective pursuit of a more representative, equitable, and rules-based international order. Excellencies, the African Union urged all UN member states to lend their full support to the African Union endorsed candidates, Liberia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as they seek election to the Security Council. These candidatures are not simply national bids, but continental aspirations. Let's stand together in solidarity, and let's ensure that Africa's leadership continues to shape the global peace and security architecture in ways that we principled, effective, inclusive, end of quote. Thank you for your kind attention.
Your Excellencies, it is profound gratitude that we are here as a government to express to you our appreciation for your support of Liberia as a member of the Security Council. Liberia being a founding member of the United Nations that helped to restore peace and stability to our country. And it is with this background and it is with this mindset and determination that we are seeking to occupy a seat and be elected so that Liberia, using our history and our experience to fight for global peace, stability, and justice around the world, to ensure that we have a peaceful world where human beings, our fellow human beings, without discrimination, can live in peace, enjoy the peace of this world, enjoy opportunities and equal opportunities without discrimination. We want to say thank you to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia. We recognize and appreciate the effort and support of the President of Liberia toward this effort. And we've come here today to commit the Liberian legislature to this effort, wherein all efforts and decisions of the United Nations, resolutions, and whatever that needs ratification and support of Liberia, you have our support. I want to thank you and God bless you.
For the unwavering support to this quest. 64 years ago, Liberia assumed the responsibility as a non-permanent member of the Security Council in 1961. And based on Liberia's pivotal role it has played in the international community and the global peace, is why we are also soliciting support for you. I want to say thank you so much for granting us your support and extending us congratulations today. So it's a testament that Liberians have won already. So I want to say on behalf of the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Liberia, Dr. Richard 𝗥𝗏𝗀, thank you so much to our friendly government and international organizations that have come today to pledge their unwavering support to Liberia's faith. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Copy table. It doesn't happen as a meeting.
Thank you, Honorable Gay. I now have the singular and distinguished pleasure of calling on Her Excellency, Madam Sara Beysolow Nyanti, to come and make a keynote statement. Your Excellency.
Your Excellencies, members of the UN family here in New York, Liberians here and at home and everywhere you find yourselves today. It is an honor to stand before you today as we close Liberia's campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the term 2026-2027. We are not here simply to make a bid, but to make a case. To make a case for shared values, to make a case for collective responsibility, and to make a case for a renewed voice from a country that knows both the scars of conflict and also the power of peace. Liberia's unique history positions us to contribute meaningfully to global peace and security. As a nation that emerged from civil war through the helping hands of the international community, guided by UN peacekeepers, regional solidarity, and the resilience of its people, we understand firsthand the stakes of the Security Council decisions. And I would like to beg everyone to listen very keenly to what Liberia has to say. We are no longer passive recipients of peacekeeping. We are now active contributors to peacekeeping. And we want to be a critical shaper of peace building in the world. The future of peace building is what Liberia wants to contribute to. As President 𝗥𝗶𝗯𝗲𝗿𝗂𝗀𝗏 recently said, Liberia has known the worst of war. And because of that, we have an unshakable commitment to peace. We want to bring the lessons of our past to serve a more secure and just future for all. This seat is not just about global engagement. It is about national transformation. As Liberia advances its development agenda, including its commitment to governance reform, infrastructure, human capital, and climate resilience, a seat on the council gives us a tool to do three things: elevate our priorities. We can shape agendas that reflect the security development nexus. Deepen partnerships. Council membership will strengthen our diplomatic leverage, attracting investment and strategic alliances. Grow our capacity. We'll build institutional experience and diplomatic maturity that will serve Liberia for generations. What are our priorities coming to the Security Council? Women, peace, and security priority number 1. Liberia was the birthplace for Africa's first female elected head of state, and the host of one of the most transformative peacekeeping missions. Our women, Liberian women, fought for peace, and Liberian women stood for peace. We know that peace is not sustainable without women. As former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf once declared, the future of Liberia and the world rests on our ability to empower women as agents of peace and guardians of justice. We commit to amplifying their voices at every level, from local mediation tables to Security Council chambers. Our second agenda, youth, peace, and security. In Liberia, over 60% of the population is under 25. Young people are not only the future, young people are our present. We will champion their inclusion in peace building, conflict prevention, and national development, ensuring that they are seen not as risks, but as partners. Liberia's foreign policy has never been about distant ideals. It is and will remain rooted in our domestic realities. Our foreign principle is clear. Our foreign policy is built on our domestic policy. And to live out that principle during our tenure on the Security Council, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will work closely with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Ministry of Gender, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Together, we'll actively engage women and youth from across Liberia, from counties and communities, from towns and traditional structures. We will ensure that what we say at the Security Council table does not just reflect elite diplomacy, but carries the weight of real lives, real voices, and real aspirations. Liberia will not just speak about women and youth. We will speak with them and we will speak for them. The third priority is UN Security Council reform and peacekeeping reform. Our journey with UN peacekeeping taught us lessons of strength, of sacrifice, and lessons of solidarity. But we also saw the gaps and the shortcomings of a mission that sought to keep the peace, but could have done more to build the peace infrastructure that remains fragile, but yet resilient today. Liberia will advocate for reforms that make peacekeeping more effective, accountable, inclusive, with stronger partnerships between us, the UN regional bodies, our civil society, and other actors, especially the African Union and ECOWAS, as well as the 𝗏𝗏 Union. The fourth priority, climate, conflict, and natural resources. Climate change is a threat multiplier. In Liberia, deforestation, flooding, and competition over land and water resources increasingly risk fueling local conflicts. But let us be clear, our natural resources are just that. Hello? Let us be clear. Our natural resources are just that. Our natural resources. They are our natural resources. They should not serve as a source of land degradation, environmental crises, or violent conflict. No child should be displaced and no family should flee because others are fighting over the wealth beneath their feet. Our forests, minerals, and waters must not be extracted for external benefit while our people remain poor. Our natural resources in Liberia and across the global south shall be agents of development, not drivers of insecurity. I thought I would get a hand clap for that. Decisions about conservation versus preservation or utilization must be made locally based on what is best for the people of Liberia and what is best for the people we're there to represent the African people in alignment with our development goals, our cultural values, and our sovereign rights. If we are to achieve sustainable peace in Africa, then the international community must be ready to have this conversation. Not someday, not in theory, but in real time. And at the Security Council, Liberia will make sure that this discussion is not delayed. Fifth, but not last, is peace and security in the 𝗏𝗏 Union. Our sub-region is one of shared history, shared vulnerability. Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Côte d'Ivoire are bound by geography and destiny. Similar families, we're interconnected. We'll use our voice to promote stability and cooperation in the 𝗏𝗏 Union, recognizing that regional peace is foundational to continental and global peace. As Nobel laureate and peace activist 𝗥𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 reminds us, peace is not the absence of war. It is the presence of dignity, of voice, and of justice. And that is the kind of peace Liberia stands for. Our development agenda, led by His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boyka, is a rest agenda for inclusive development. His vision is that agriculture, roads, rule of law, sanitation, tourism, underpinned by energy and technology, will take Liberians to that place of prosperity. But we'll not get there without sustainable peace. And the peace we have today is the peace we crave for the world. And that is why our theme for our campaign has been towards a just and peaceful world. Our logo carries the kola nut, a symbol of peace in every community across Liberia. So a vote for Liberia is a vote for a country that has walked the long road from fragility to stability. The vote for Liberia is a vote for a people who know what peace costs and what peace is worth. A vote for Liberia is a vote for a vision for a more inclusive, responsive, and equitable Security Council. I would like to ask Deputy Minister 𝗖𝗹𝗯𝗲𝗏𝗏 Nyanti to join me. Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration responsible for the UN. Assistant Minister 𝗥𝗶𝗯𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Assistant Minister for International Organizations, but also the national campaign manager in Liberia on the ground, has worked tirelessly. Ambassador Louis Brown, our global campaign manager, please join me. I would like to ask the Senate and the House Foreign Relations Committee to please join me. Senator Darius Dillon, Honorable 𝗥𝗏𝗰𝗂𝗏𝗏. I would like to ask the Office of the President, Minister 𝗟𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗏, to please join me. As I conclude, I would like to ask our ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Alsan Conte, to join me. We stand here representing the rest of the Liberians in the room. As I say this, In conclusion, Liberia does not ask for this seat as a reward. We ask for it as a responsibility, one we are prepared to shoulder with humility, with courage, and with the conviction that our shared peace depends on our shared action. Liberia has never walked this road before. Liberia has never taken this leap to seek a full mandate of the global community of 193 member states to serve a 2-year term on the UN Security Council. We know that walking this road will require a lot, but we are prepared to take on the challenges. We know that the campaigning that brought us to today was a small feat compared to what lies ahead, which is having the capacity and the tenacity to man the seat effectively and efficiently. But this we are ready to do. Please join us as we write the next chapter of Liberia's history in her contributions to multilateralism. Being a founding member of the League of Nations, founding member of the United Nations, and with great optimism, we stand here representing the government of Liberia. We stand saying we're looking forward to be a sitting member of the UN Security Council for the first time in Liberia's history with a full mandate. Please vote for us on June 3rd and be a part of writing our next chapter. Thank you.
Shall be the right for it. Let no pride or tongue divide our let our aims and dreams unite. Our destiny is let's build a new society with respect and unity. With respect and unity. Liberia. Yeah, man.
Making such decision and voting to bring peace, to bring stability, to ensure justice, to curtail human trafficking, and to ensure that natural resources of countries, including our own country's natural resources, will be protected and used for the adjustment for the purpose, for the benefit of our people.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to that. Welcome to the Liberian Television Network. Please, if you can say your name and the
I'm 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗃𝗍, the House's Committee Chair on Foreign Affairs.
Thank you very much. First of all, how's the event been?
It's been colorful, and I'm impressed. I'm excited with the presence of the international community, friendly government, AU, ECOWAS, Liberian delegation from the House of Representatives and the Senate, and other permanent Liberian presence here. Our team is an exciting moment for Liberia. This is a historic milestone for Liberia to be elevated to the global stage, especially at the Security Council. That is a higher decision-making body of the United Nations. So we feel that it's a historic milestone for Liberia.
Thank you so much once again. This is the Liberian Television Network. We're bringing you more interviews. We're here at the United Nations headquarters right here in New York City. And we have next the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Beysolow Nyanti. Welcome to the Liberian Television Network, if you don't mind. Welcome to the Liberian Television Network.
Thank you.
It is, first of all, let me ask you, how was the event here? We're here covering this closing of the campaign for Liberia's seat on the United Nations Security Council. How's the event been so far?
The event was fantastic. We got more people than we expected. And we got countries that we sent letters to, we made phone calls, and they were here today. It was really great to see the range of countries that have now come to us to express their support as compared to when we started. It was great to see.
Thank you. And just moving straight into your speech, because we want to talk about the Liberia fight for this seat at the United Nations Security Council. Again, if the last few months, I know we've been campaigning as a country for that seat. How has that process been, and that led us to this day?
It's been tough. Liberia doesn't have the most resources. We don't have the tools that other countries have. You have smaller countries that are vying for smaller seats, regional bodies, local bodies on the continent, and they have put in so much resources. We see them coming to Liberia all the time. Many of them come on private jets. They go from country to country one day at a time. You know, they take 1 week and they go from country to country. We didn't have those kind of resources, but it also has been fulfilling because as we struggle to do this, we struggle as a team. It wasn't just me, it was the entire team. And I'm really proud to say that you have many well-meaning Liberians who have put their hands to the plow to help us to get this far.
Thank you. Again, from your speech and the other speakers, you guys have put, it's been a very tedious process, the campaign period. Now, my question would be, how important is this seat to Liberia that we are campaigning this much and we've done such a great job for us to be able to do? How important is this seat?
This is monumental. First of all, Liberia is a founding member of the League of Nations in the UN. I think the only country that was a founding member that has not had a full mandate of the UN Security Council. We've never had this before. We've never campaigned and gotten the mandate to sit 2 years in the Security Council, never. And so it will be our first time in our history. And this will give us, first of all, a place at the table. It will give us political and global leverage in terms of having access to spaces and faces that we don't normally have access to. It also puts us in a position to promote Liberia's investment agenda and to talk to countries about what Liberia is looking for in terms of foreign direct investment, in terms of our economic diplomacy, and making sure that the President's vision, President Boyka's vision, the REST agenda is implemented, and Liberians ultimately get the impact of it.
Yeah, and just moving on to other things, let's talk the list of priorities, Liberia priorities on that seat. You spoke about women peace and security, youth peace and security, the UN Security Council and peacekeeping reform. Can you expand a little bit on that? I know you did an excellent job in your speech. If you can just expand on that, on those priorities again.
So it's not enough for women to just exist. It's not enough for women to go to school and struggle and find their way to find a job. Women, Peace and Security is a Security Council Resolution 1325 that is about the empowerment of women, making sure that women have their place. And when women are empowered, you will find it very difficult to have chaos and to have war. And so women, peace and security is an agenda that speaks to women's empowerment and women's role in development, women's role in peacekeeping, not in peacekeeping, but in peace in the country, women's role in the community, and ensuring that at all levels of society that women are not just spectators, but they're active participants and they have a voice in shaping how things should go from the household level all the way to the top.
Okay, and thank you so much. Not to hold you too long.
The same for youth, the same for youth peace and security, making sure that youth are actively engaged and involved and empowered, but also the Security Council reform, making sure that Africa has a permanent seat, and making sure that we deal with the issues of peacekeeping, where peacekeeping will serve the needs of the country that they're to serve, and not just go with one size fits all.
Thank you. And not to hold you too long, this question, because you called the attention of the audience during your speech to emphasize on natural resources. You paused and you said our natural resources. So why was that?
This is something we've been discussing with DRC. This is one, if DRC gets the seat and we get the seat, we agreed to collectively champion this issue. On the continent, many of our conflicts are fueled because of our resources. And our resources are extracted and they leave impacts in terms of the environment and climate change. And so the nexus between climate, conflict, and our natural resources has to be addressed. We have to have the conversation. Our children, our women shouldn't have to be putting things on their head to run because people want our natural resources. Our natural resources belong to us. And we should determine how we use our natural resources and how we use it for the betterment of our people.
Thank you so much again. Thank you for speaking with this network. And let me just give you the microphone. Just any last word from you?
Yes, thank you, President 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, for believing in us doing this. You always ask me all the time, can we do this? And I want to thank everybody who came forward to join hands to support, because it's not about Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it's not about me, it's not about President 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, it's about Liberia, and Liberia taking a place in the Committee of Nations. That's what this is about.
Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, my name is 𝗥𝗶𝗯𝗲𝗏𝗏, Assistant Minister for International Organizations and Campaign Chairperson for Liberia's campaign to the United Nations Security Council non-permanent seat. This is a good one because we actually launched a campaign here last year, September 27. Same time we are closing out today, May 27. And there has been a lot of work. So seeing everyone giving the commitments today or reiterating the commitments here today to support us for our bid to the Security Council, it shows how much work we have done, and it shows how much progress we have made. And we are just waiting for June 3rd to sign the last belt and say congratulations.
Thank you so much for speaking with this network. Again. Now, our next interview we have is Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗯𝗲𝗏𝗏, the current ambassador, Liberia ambassador to the United States, and also a former president of the University of Liberia. Welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network.
Thank you, Derek. Good to be here.
Thank you. Now, we're here at this event. You've been observing, you listened to the speeches, you meet and greet. How has the event been for you so far?
Oh, the event was wonderful. I'm here, to support the Liberian delegation, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. But the event was great. I mean, I was really amazed at the turnout of representatives here at the UN, which shows the time and effort that the team in Liberia, led by the foreign minister, have been working very, very hard to put this event through. And the event was well attended. There were representatives that recounted the history of Liberia, the fact that it is Africa's oldest republic that has worked assiduously for peace for over a century. Since Liberia was founded in 1847, Liberia has been a founding member of all of the international organizations, including the UN and the AU. And today, all of the representatives were here, from the UN, from the AU, from ECOWAS, applauding Liberia's leadership. So we hope that that support will manifest itself into concrete votes next month for Liberia's seat on the UN Security Council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Derek. I'm 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏, the Deputy Permanent Representative of Liberia's Permanent Mission to the United Nations.
Thank you, bro.
It's been a very challenging one. The President has provided very strategic leadership of this entire process. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Sara Beysolow Nyanti, has mobilized the forces from back home, and her agents, the ambassadors all across the world, particularly His Excellency Ambassador 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗄𝗍𝗄, Permanent Representative of Liberia to the United Nations, has led the cause at the United Nations here since our coming. We've been engaged in meeting almost all, I would say, of the permanent missions and the permanent representatives of all of the countries accredited to the United Nations. Of course, there are 193 countries. I would say 192 because we make it 193. So it's been a checkered path. It's been a torturous one, but it's been a very electrifying process. It's been a process that, when you work for a country, it's a labor of love. And so we've been very engaged with this. We've reached out to all of the permanent missions. We've sought their support. They've granted us their support. And we're very confident that Liberia will join the Security Council soon. So, Africa as a continent does not have a seat on the United Nations Security Council. There are the 𝗖𝗺𝗆𝗀 Consensus and the 𝗟𝗏 Declaration. That's Africa's common position on the Security Council. We talk about expansion of the council to include Africa, to grant Africa some seats, but also be done on a regional basis. And of course, that will include other regions of the world as well, not just the P5, the Permanent Five, right? The Permanent Five came out of the end of World War II. It was kind of a victor justice arrangement, right? And so today the world has changed. The dynamics of global politics have changed. Multilateralism in itself has changed a lot, and other countries now demand a reflection in the Security Council. And so, but apart from that, we're also looking into peace and security issues. We're talking about West Africa and the Sahel. You have terrorism, you have conflict, you talk about conflict in other parts of the world, right? Whether in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe, we are very interested in those issues. We will look into those files, into the issues that affect those people, because whatever affects one country affects all of the other countries. Whatever affects one region of the world affects all of the regions of the world. And so while the nameplate on the table, around the table will be Liberia, and the seat would represent Africa, Liberia's perspective on the council would be global.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. We're still here at the United Nations headquarters in New York City, bringing you live coverage of the climaxing of Liberia's campaign for a seat at the United Nations Security Council. We're here with Liberia Permanent Representative to the United Nations, His Honorable Louise Brown. Welcome to the Liberian Television Network.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First, I must say congratulations on such a tedious campaign. We followed this process as a network, and we're here today. First, let me ask you, how has it been, and so far, the campaign process, and what do you think? How do you think this event turned out?
Well, we're happy. This is an honor to our country to be received by so many permanent representatives speaking on behalf of their country, attending the closing of our campaign on behalf of their country. I think it's a testament to how far our country has come. All Liberians everywhere, irrespective of tribe, political party differences, religion. This is a moment to celebrate. It's not over yet. Elections will be on the 3rd of June, next Tuesday. This is the formal closing of our campaign. We look forward to the election, but we have never been more optimistic and hopeful. Our country, the Liberian people deserve this. It's a vote of confidence in the people. The people fought for, guaranteed, and ensure and continue to ensure our peace. And so for that to be so good, that ECOWAS and the African Union will both unanimously endorse our country for the first time since 1945, when we sat around the table to form the United Nations, that we will now represent Africa. In 1961, some may argue that Liberia was on the Security Council. It was for a one-year split term. But this is the first time Liberia will be elected by the full membership, and Liberia will sit on the Security Council for a full 2-year term. This is not about party, this is about country. This is not about an individual, it is about all people, all Liberians. Please, let's celebrate this moment. Let's find a reason to pull together, to be united. This is a win not just for those who are at home, it is a win for Liberians everywhere. There was a time Liberians, you remember, just 2014, Liberians were considered as if we were viruses, the Ebola virus, because of its outbreak in our country. Today, we are seen as credible, capable, ready to take our rightful place around the family table, the highest family table of the world, to work for the maintenance of international peace and security. We deserve it. All Liberians deserve it. We have earned it, and let us continue to work together.
Thank you. Now, you spoke passionately during your welcome remark, and also the Minister of Foreign Affairs spoke passionately. But I want to draw this conversation to, like, when she emphasized Liberia priority, if we get that seat. Now, she talked about peace reform. She talked about women and children's rights as well as equality. Knowing you will be the one spearheading this initiative, can you expand more? What does that mean to you personally and to the country?
You know, Liberia, while many are still struggling for, rightfully so, the rights of women, especially in leadership, we have elected the first woman president on our continent. We have had 2 women to be Peace Nobel laureate. Women continue to be involved in not just us making peace, but consolidating our peace. We have a female Minister of Defense. We've had a female Chief Justice. We've had a female Vice President. We today have a female President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate. Should we do more? Yes, because more than 50% of our population, global population, even in Liberia, comprise women. They deserve to have their rightful place. Girls deserve to aspire to anything, in whether it be national or global leadership. So we're talking about using that experience of trusting women, giving women more rights and responsibilities in national decision making and in global decision making. It is that gravitas that we want to bring. Not to exclude women when we are talking about peace, not to exclude young people who will inherit the peace. Right. How do we empower young people to believe that the path of war is not the best path, and that the path of peace, we must continue to give them the dividend of peace. This is what Liberia has always represented. This is what we believe. And this is what we're trying to show to the world is possible. There will be no peace in Liberia but for women. There will be no future in Liberia but for the young. Thank you.